Welcome to Talin's Talk Show. Today we are discussing women in the media, specifically the Bechdel test and stereotypes of women in minority groups. The Bechdel test was founded by Alison Bechdel in 1985 and addresses how often in the media females are given less well-developed characters. It has 3 rules. The show or film has to have at least 2 female characters that have at least one conversation about something other than a man. After all, women have vibrant lives outside of men, so how hard is it to find TV shows that demonstrate this? Well, let's interview some friends and find if their favorite shows pass this test. Out of the 16 shows they named, 11 passed the test. So how important do you think this concept of the Bechdel test is and how it addresses the way women are represented in the media?
I think it's important that they show that women have jobs, careers, and livelihoods outside of just men.
I think it's really important to showcase women talking about things other than just men, because it shows depth and a more intense and well thought out character, and it creates a bond between women that doesn't always just have to be revolved around a man, and I think that's important for young girls and younger women to see.
I think it's really important for the image of women in TV to be able to have shows that can show them more than just people who are obsessed over the opposite sex. And not only is that important, I also believe that if the show is lacking in female characters or any characters in general, and the characters' relationships with each other revolve around such simple and meaningless concepts, the show itself suffers. So I believe for the integrity of the show and the image of women, it's very important to have strong female characters that do more than just talk about other men.
So for me, I think it's very important that women are portrayed on television more than just for how they see men or their thoughts on men, because women's lives are so much more than just men. So in terms of picking a show to watch, it would definitely make an impact for me knowing how women are portrayed on that show, because I wouldn't want to watch a show that is not accurately portraying how women are in their day-to-day lives.
I haven't heard of this test before, but I think it's pretty important because women are often misrepresented in the media and we're portrayed in a demeaning way. And by demeaning, I mean that women are often portrayed as sexually promiscuous, overly emotional, and less career-oriented.
Often, Asian Americans are referred to as the model minority, a term used by the majority population to refer to a minority population that has desirable qualities such as high intelligence or high financial success. Unfortunately, the model minority myth negatively affects the way Asian American women are represented in the media because they are often stereotyped or typecasted. Can you think of any stereotypes of Asian American women in the media? Are there any shows that combat or perform this stereotype?
Asian Americans typically as nerds or geeks, independent characters, I guess.
The one stereotype that I think is portrayed, especially in Gilmore Girls, is the Asian stereotype of having to be a really good student and follow specific rules and regulations by the parents as a child. One of the younger girls in the show, her mom is very strict and doesn't want her doing anything other than studying, but she shows a lot of interest in forms of art, but she has to kind of hide that from her mom. I think it shows both sides, which is nice. It shows that the mom wants a certain way for her daughter, but then the daughter is able to express what she likes and kind of eventually talk to her mom and get her to understand that she is a good student regardless of what other interests she has, and that there's more to her than just getting straight A's.
The minority character that's portrayed in a very quote-unquote stereotypical way, a character in the show Disjointed. As far as I'm in the show, that she works at a marijuana dispensary, but she has dropped out of medical school, and her parents from China don't know that she has dropped out of medical school, so she's continuously lying to her parents while growing marijuana and grew up being a part of that industry. She knows that she's going against what her parents want, which the show basically shamelessly just says we're aware of this stereotype, but also she's super funny and quirky, and you can tell she's clearly not meant for academic endeavors at that point in her lifetime. And so the show explores both sides.
Asian Americans, they're typically portrayed as very smart, but also very nerdy.
Notice that Asian American women are often portrayed as cold and calculated in the media. For instance, Christina's character in Grey's Anatomy definitely emphasizes the stereotype, but she is very good at what she does. She definitely has a passion for medicine, and she's a great doctor as a result.
Although representation of women has in general improved over the years, the model minority myth for Asian American women still persists in the media today, as they are often portrayed as cold and robot-like. I hope the next time you pick a television show, you consider the Bechdel test and how well the show depicts minority groups.